So takeoff is in, not sure how many minutes, but we are on our way to London. So look at this tiny bag of pretzels and this tiny can of Sprite they gave us. I love how this says classic American, and this one is like made in Great Britain.
Guys at lifeguards, does anyone get the phones? Okay, so get the phones is the King's Guard. It's what Martin took. Like the old chap. Like 1, 2, 3, 5 copies. Beautiful blessings. Let's have a sit. The next 5 on now.
We ain't good again tonight. Good morning.
Here, you take a picture of me. Oh, I'm gonna be so.
It is day 2 in London. We are in front of Buckingham Palace. It is freezing. Yeah. Breakfast was amazing. I fell asleep on the bus to here. And I don't know where the rest of our group is. All I know is that I'm cold.
I think we might have to go back.
Yeah, everyone's going back, so.
Years. Attached to the clock tower is the House of Commons, our elected house, our House of Representatives, which our House of Representatives, our Commons, is made up of 650 elected members of Parliament, because the United Kingdom is divided into 650 constituencies, and the electorate of each constituency elects one representative at a general election every 5 years, in theory, to be their full-time representative. It's a paid salaried job, and our Prime Minister will always be the leader of the party that wins the majority or most seats in the House of Commons. Further along the building is the medieval Westminster Hall. Beyond that is the House of Lords, our upper house, currently made up of around 800 unelected men and women, mostly the life peers. They've been appointed by the Queen through an independent appointments committee, but when they die, the title dies with them. And at the far end of the building is the tower with the flag flying, which is the Victoria Tower. It's the royal entrance into building that the Queen uses every year when she comes to open Parliament. Now here in Parliament Square, of course, full of statues, all male. Nelson Mandela just up ahead on the right. They're all parliamentarians of one type or another. Mahatma Gandhi is the most recent statue. As we cross over the lights, you'll see at the front, outside the front of the Supreme Court, is Abraham Lincoln. No idea what he's doing here. It's actually easier to explain Darwin buried in a church, but there you go. But you'll notice there is a white tent. Now that is not a CSI tent, but that tent will disappear next month, and where that tent is will be the first ever statue of a woman in Parliament Square. Do you want to do another one? Yeah, let's go around one more time.
Big Ben Parliament.
Oh, we won't go around one more time. The woman to be unveiled there is a woman by the name of Millicent Fawcett, who is one of the leading lights of the suffragists, not the suffragettes, but the suffragists. And this year, 2018, is incredibly important because this is the 100th anniversary of the very first women gaining the right to vote in this country. Now, this is Whitehall. This is home to the government departments. Just here on the left is the Treasury, the Finance Department. It's also the Department for Culture, Media and Sport. And just past it on the left is the Foreign and Commonwealth Office. You may be familiar with the face of our Foreign Secretary, Boris Johnson, the great leading light of diplomacy and former Mayor of London, but hey ho. In the middle of the road you'll see this monument with the flags on it. It's our National War Memorial. It's the cenotaph. Behind it, off to the right, is the Department of Health. Just beyond that is the Ministry of Defence. And if you look off to the left, please crawl if we can, you'll see the black gates at the entrance to Downing Street. And number 10 Downing Street is the official residence of our Prime Ministers. Currently, of course, Mrs. Theresa May, leader of the Conservative Party, our second female Prime Minister. And it was when Margaret Thatcher was Prime Minister between 1979 and 1990 they put the railings up to try and keep her in. Didn't always work. But everything here is to do with the work of politics and government. Parliament is where they make the laws. Parliament's job is to make the laws and to scrutinise the government. And this is where the magic happens. But get your cameras ready to the left, because just off here to the left you will see two members of the Blues and Royals, one of the two regiments of the Household Cavalry, the Horse Guards. Now they come out on duty every morning at 10, the regiments change at 11, and there are guards on duty till 4 in the afternoon. They do shifts of 1 hour on, 3 hours off, 1 hour on, 3 hours off. And this is Prince Harry's regiment, or it was Prince Harry's regiment. And it's the Blues and Royals who will be guarding and protecting everybody at Harry and Meghan's wedding. Which is a little bit strange, because just last week they discovered a major drugs haul in their barracks in Windsor. Used, and that is the building that became Gringotts Bank in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Now, if you're not a Harry Potter fan,
oh my god. It is like, crap, what time is it? It is after 11, so I should be asleep right now. But tomorrow we leave London at 8 a.m. on the Eurostar, and we will go to Paris. Right now we're just getting our shit together. But honestly, even though it was like freezing cold, I'm still pretty happy with this trip. Like, I think the cold was like literally the only bad thing that happened, aside from like the restaurant. But the restaurant wasn't as bad as the cold. The first night at our restaurant we had a fish and chips dinner, and they almost forgot to feed me. And then tonight we went to this Asian restaurant, and the thing is, Americans are kind of ignorant towards other cultures, so we don't really know what's going on. And this was, and our version of Chinese food is very dumbed down and like Americanized and commercialized. So the whole like having rice in a separate bowl and curry in a separate bowl, people didn't understand that. And on top of that, like, it was really spicy, and I'm fine with spicy food, but a lot of people aren't. And that was like probably like the only issue that we had, despite it being like freezing cold and snowing, and not being able to feel my feet because my shoe got soaked. Anywho, I need to take off my makeup and clean my bed and get my stuff together for tomorrow, so bye.